at that plant. So we have an order of about 245 rail cars. We have that plant up to now 4 cars per month. We have to commission those cars, we have to test those cars after the train maker turns them over to us. We want to get the car maker up to 5 cars per month, which is by contract. They're supposed to be at 5. They're at 4 right now. You're going to see them get to 5 in the coming months. We are moving those cars right to the Expo line and the Gold line, which is near capacity as well.
Okay. Between the subway red line and the orange line busway, where is the tunnel, the quote-unquote tunnel that cost $22 million? The mezzanine was already there since the subway was built and goes all the way across Lancashire Boulevard. All I see is a short access to the elevators and the stairs.
This is the tunnel that just opened up on Monday. Today, Wednesday. It just opened up on Monday, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moshe Kaiserman, are you here? No? Moshe. Is Moshe here? Raise your hand.
Maybe she doesn't want to.
Okay. We kind of already covered this, but this might be plan B in case the measure doesn't pass, but why is sales tax? Why is sales tax bad for business? Why not the source of the problems, like a tax on gasoline, a tax on commercial and residential buildings?
That's a great question. I think what you see around the country to fund transportation infrastructure improvements is sales tax. I can think of Florida that's doing some sort of property tax, but sales tax is the preferred transportation infrastructure funding mechanism, and that seems to be the best source, actually. So, I mean, the gas tax, there's been so much debate on the federal gas tax. The federal gas tax has not been raised for some 25 years or so. I think politically, to raise the gas tax, especially here in California, would be a big, big challenge.
Okay. Greg Pestapino?
Yeah.
There you go. Ford plans to have their self-driving cars on the streets within a few years. Why couldn't we have self-driving electric microbuses doing simple loops and over, since the valley is basically a grid? It should be a relatively easy process.
We are looking and considering new technology. I created an office about 8 to 10 months ago. I called this office the Office of Extraordinary Innovation. Somebody asked me, why did you say extraordinary? You missed the whole point. I want extraordinary innovation. And we are looking at innovative transportation infrastructure concepts from all over the world. Now, people have asked me, well, you have a 40-year plan, a 50-year plan. How do you know what technology will be there even in 5 years? The way we're approaching that is every project that we are putting out on the street, every project that we're thinking about doing, we are creating and allowing the private sector to come to us through what's called an unsolicited proposal method, to come to us with their ideas. Because usually public entities, they put out a request for proposal or an RFP, and the private sector responds to that RFP. We evaluate it and all that. We are doing something a little bit different now at Metro over the last 6, 8, 10 months. We have created an unsolicited proposal policy where the private sector does not have to wait for us to put out an RFP. They can come to us unsolicited with their ideas and their innovation. That is how we're addressing the accelerating technological innovation that's occurring all over the world. They can come to us with their idea, whether it's an autonomous bus or a driverless bus, whatever that is, and we will look at that idea and see if it makes sense. What we don't want to do and what we have to make sure of is that the idea is safe, because we are moving people And we cannot put untested technology on the road.
Nancy, Aiden, are you here? Right back there. So this is a follow-up question to an answer that you already answered. You say you will have increased oversight, and you'll have 7 political appointees who will meet quarterly, and they do not have any staff or to oversee a sophisticated organization like Metro, which has 9,000 employees. Complex projects, labor agreements, and a $20 billion construction program. $2 billion in annual revenues and an overall operating loss of $75 million. How is that oversight?
Well, first of all, that oversight piece is not political appointees. I don't think I said political appointees. But this oversight will be an independent oversight group named by the LA Metro Board. Now, if I understand the question, you're saying that all of these things that we have at Metro now, how can someone manage that or provide oversight for that? It's actually happening right now in terms of our day-to-day operations. The Metro Board is doing that, providing that oversight along with the public. And so we're doing that right now. If you look at our credit ratings, if you look at all the things and the projects that we opened up just this year, the Gold Line, the Expo Line, and all of that, we're doing those things right now. Now, is there room for improvement? Yes. But we're doing those things right now on a day-to-day basis, if I understand the question.
So the oversight committee, 7 people will be appointed by MTA?
With public review and public comment. And they will have, each one will have a certain expertise, whether it's engineering or whatever.
I think what she's asking is, it's kind of like the hens getting together and assigning a hen to watch the chicken coop. The valley has been shortchanged in the past, and we've been promised that we've been taxed and we've had bonded measures. So 7 people are going to, that are appointed by MTA, that, you know, it just seems a little suspect that that these people are going to be able to oversee anything other than what they're told to oversee.
I would think that the San Fernando Valley can weigh in on those appointments and the guidelines that that actually dictate how the appointments are made. That will be later on, and I think we would be welcome and we would be open to your suggestions on how the makeup of that.
This would be after Measure R passes.
That's correct.
So Measure R passes, you guys get.
Is there an actual name for yet?
Yeah, it's Measure M.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we should.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yes.
So Measure M passes, and then you'll listen to input as far as how it's going to be.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there anything in the plan to alleviate the traffic? You already addressed the 405, but what about the 101 and the 405?
There are several programmatic type things in this plan. There are several interchange and intersection improvements. If you look at this plan, 35% is transit-related, transit projects. About 17% is highway, how we improve intersections. If you study some of the highway patterns out here, when I first came out here, I was just like, this is incredible. The merges are horrible. I mean, you merge into, I mean, it's horrible. Those things can be improved upon. Those things are in this plan. If you look at the back of this sheet that's on your tables, you'll see many, many highway projects. These highway projects and the intersection improvements, we believe, will improve the traffic flow all over this county.
Okay. Ron Zinn is in the back. Ron, you still here?
In front.
Oh, there you go. You moved. I saw you in the back eating food, and you moved to the front.
Right.
Wow, you're fast. So Metro needs to serve the people that, the $1.4 million daily users. The system has 0 drinking fountains and only 3 restrooms provided by other agencies. No new facilities planned. Why not make it more comfortable for people to use the systems?
Well, I think it's a great comment, it's a great question. We're all about the customer experience and enhancing the customer experience. Now, one of the things that transportation agencies are finding out when they provide restroom facilities and all those sorts of things, other things happen with restroom facilities. You end up with problems you did not anticipate. Folks living in the restroom and those sorts of things, and it becomes very unsafe in some places. But we are committed to enhancing the customer experience. There was a big push, I've made a big push to make sure we have cellular service in our tunnels. If you've been watching what we're doing, we just activated cell service from Union Station to 7th and Metro, so you can use your cell phone down there now. We are extending that to the next segment of the red line and the purple line. So we are looking at how we can make sure there's next train and accurate next train and next bus information. So we're doing those technological things to enhance the experience. The restrooms and everything is something we have to look at. We're doing that at the airport station when we connect the Crenshaw line and the Green line to the airport, which is in this plan as well. We're going to have bathrooms at those stations to connect the airport.
Okay, one last just follow-up, and again, I've got a bunch of questions, but Richard's giving me the hook. So if you can summarize on this ballot measure in November and give us commitments and give us guarantees on the Sepulveda tunnel,
Yep.
when that will happen, how that will happen, and on the light rail improvements in the valley, when that will happen, and commitments. Can you summarize those two? Because those are...
Right. The orange line improvements, the aerial separations will happen immediately. And I'm talking fiscal year 2018, which starts in July of 2017. We will start those immediately. We're already starting some shovel-ready activities on the orange line. The Sepulveda Pass, we already have private sector interest to accelerate the first phase of the Sepulveda Pass. We have some unsolicited proposals in right now to accelerate the Sepulveda Pass. We're going to entertain those. The local return that I mentioned starts immediately if the ballot measure passes. So all of the projects that you see on the back of this with regard to San Fernando Valley, we are totally committed to. Oh, CSUN. CSUN, which is Bus Rapid Transit, we've already started improvements on CSUN to provide service for students up there as well.
And on this ballot measure, how many miles of subway will be included in the valley of new subway lines?
I don't have that right now, but if you think about Sepulveda Pass, that's about 10 miles or so of subway through the pass. I believe it's 10 miles, maybe 10 or 12 miles. That will be in the valley, along with the conversion of the orange line to light rail as well.
So Jules has a little token of our appreciation, but we're going to allow people to come up and ask questions of you before you leave. But I know you have people here from your department. Do you want to bring them up?
Yes, please let me introduce.
Because the people can come up and speak to them after we break.
Okay.
Okay, Jules, what do you got? He's going to grab your microphone.
Bill,
Yes, sir.
we really appreciate you coming down here tonight. I know it's a little warm here. We're sorry about that. We tried to get the air conditioning going, just couldn't get it going.
It was going with light. Go on. We never make
Anyway.
it. We don't need to.
As a token of our appreciation,
Something you always
I'd like to give
wanted.
you, I'd like to give you a limited edition Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association cap. I'd like to take a picture of you wearing it.
Absolutely.
And anyone else from the staff coming up here?
Yeah, Frank.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Terrific.
Jules, go in there. You're the honorary mayor of Sherman Oaks. Come on. Stand with him when he wears the hat.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so who are the people here? Someone want to introduce? And what they're here to deliver.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. My name is Jody Whitback. I'm the Director of Community and Municipal Affairs, and we have an amazing team of people who are, in essence, Metro's field deputies for you. You already met Frank, where did Frank go, our parking guru. Karen Swift and Mark Deerking are both Valley residents. They are community relations managers. Karen is dedicated to the Valley and knows it inside and out.
I am for the record, she truly is dedicated to the valley.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. And Mark, I couldn't, because it's a big county, I couldn't put two people in the San Fernando Valley, but Mark is a forever Valley resident, and he is also dedicated to the Valley. He helps us out up in the North County and on all of our MetroLink things, but if there's anything Karen doesn't know about the Valley, Mark knows about it. So that's really the team that we have for you, and of course, I'm always around.
So thank you very much. Please come up and ask the individual questions. Robert Hertzberg, our state senator in September. Thank you all.